that's how big your district is, you represent a specific neighborhood?
Yeah.
No, he represents the village.
I represent the
Oh,
whole
you mean
village,
as a
but
leader.
as a district leader there,
I
yeah.
see.
They
Bring
break
it down.
neighborhoods
Yeah.
by different neighborhoods.
I see.
In theory, when you go to campaign.
Well, you guys got a gerryman, you gotta,
The
Right,
Republicans
exactly.
always used to win in the last 8 years or something.
Isn't the mayor of White Plains, no, you're not White Plains, there's a new mayor of White Plains.
Yes.
Who's like a Jewish guy.
Is he?
JTA had a headline that he was one of,
I know
two
the old mayor.
Orthodox Jewish mayors or
Yeah,
something like
the
that.
old mayor just ran for a county office, so, we could use a little more,
Yiddish cup, as my mother would say.
Yeah, sure.
it's a pretty religious, community.
White
Not in
Plains,
White
yeah,
Plains.
there's a fair, yes, there's a large
Yeah,
Jewish
a
community,
civic,
and a
but-
large observant community,
Yeah.
comparatively, yeah.
Yeah, would you say Hasidic?
I mean, Orthodox,
Yeah. There might be, I don't know if there's a
I
Hasidic
don't know.
community in White Plains, but there's definitely an Orthodox community.
Mamaroneck is a couple of, because of the Chabad, they have a school.
They're Chabad
so
over
they're-
there.
You know,
Some of
it
the
is
kids
funny
are-
when you're someplace odd and you see, like, we were in Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Thanks, John.
And we saw Hasids walking to shul.
Yeah, sure.
Because
Maybe,
it's
yeah.
like, where's your turquoise jewelry?
Where's your, they don't wear bolo ties and
Hanging off their
Bolo
tzitzis.
I had someone who went to go to the synagogue in Massachusetts, spent a long time living in the Southwest, and he wore all that stuff. He had rings and like in the shape of, like things in the shape of eagles. And, like, he was
So
all.
hideous.
It's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of turquoise. It's a lot,
Oh, yeah.
Turquoise.
And silver.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
These guys look straight out of Williamsburg, but they
Well,
look
that's-
odd walking through the desert.
So it's
Setting.
funny. So my parent is a Chabad rabbi who lives in Hyde Park. He's a neighbor of my parents. So they're friends. They've become pretty close with him over the years, and he's been there a long time now. And he grew up in Manchester, but he sounds like he's from Crown Heights. he sounds like he's from Brooklyn, and which is bizarre if you think about it. I mean,
Well,
it's like,
so all those guys who, sound like that, who sound like they're not from the United States, even though they were born here.
well,
One time I went with a friend, this was years ago, to whatever, B&H Camera
oh, that place is
on the
great.
far west side.
That place is great.
I
It's
was
still around.
with,
Oh yeah.
yeah, they are still around. I was with a friend, a Greek friend from Athens, and she was buying, that was the old days before Amazon, she was buying a computer and equipment and
Yeah.
camera stuff. And we went in there, I could not understand a word they were saying, she could understand, with her heavy Greek accent in there, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
She could communicate with them, I couldn't.
I love going to that place. That place is crazy, and have they have
Yeah.
the stuff in the ceiling. And
That
that
comes
place
around.
is great. I love that place.
Hello.
It's true. Amazon has sort of obviated the need for some of those kinds of
Everybody.
places, but
Everybody.
that place is great. That place is an institution. My dad is a big camera enthusiast.
Oh, is he?
Whenever he likes that, go to that place a lot. Okay. Page 14. Yedid nefesh avarachaman mishoch avdach eretzonach yarut avdach emohayal ishtachabel mol hadarach yerav lo yedidutach minofetzu chazek v'tirabeh v'hayez alach shivchat olam v'tikemu yarachamecha v'chuznal v'noavach ki zekama nichsav lirov tiferet uzachana hili machma libi chushana ve'aldid alam higalena v'ras chalib alai sukat shelomach tahir eretz migvodach nagila v'nizmecha bach maherahu v'givamoed v'choneni gimei olai Page 15. Lechu niranena l'Adonai Narial and Sori Shenu Negad Mafana Betoda Bizmiro Narial Arba'im Shana Hagod Bedor Valmar Amdoye Levavim Them Lo Yanu Nerachai Asher Ishbati Be'avim Yavor El Menuchati Shiru l'Adonai Shir Chadash Shiru l'Adonai Kol haaretz Shiru l'Adonai Baruchu Shemo Vasru miyom liyom Yeshuato Vasru hayom Im kevodo V'chol ha'amim Livleotav Gigano l'Adonai Adonai Shammai Vasa Hod V'Hada השתחוו לאדוני בהר הקודש, חילו מפניו כל הארץ, אמרו בגויים, אדוני מלך עבדי תבל ותימור, ידין עמים במישרים, יסלחו השמיים ודגל הארץ, ירם הים, הוא לא יעלו שדי, וכל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל עצי העל לפני אדוני, כי בא לשפוט הארץ, לשפוט בצדק, ועמים באמונתו, Page 17. Shama batisma chetzion v'tagelna b'not Yehuda leman mishpatecha Adonai ki az Adonai Elyon al kol haaretz me'od na'aleta al kol Elohim ohavei Adonai zinura shomer nafshot chasidav me'arshaim yatzilem or zaru al tzadik ol Yisrael b'simcha simchu tzadikim Adonai ve'odu lezecher godsho 18 mizmor shiru l'Adonai shir chadash ki niflaot asa hoshialo yemino zroa kodsho hodia Adonai Yeshuato v'hine hagoyim gilatzin gado azachar chasdo ve'emunato lebeit Yisrael rabu kol afsei haaretz Yeshuat Eloheinu hariu l'Adonai kol haaretz v'tzchu v'ranenu v'zameru zamru l'Adonai v'chinor v'kol zimra hayai v'chantzon zron v'kol shofar hariu lifnei hamelech Adonai yira hayam lo tevel v'yoshveva Hine haroyim chahochav yachad harim yiranenu el lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz lishpot temel b'tzedek ve'amim ve'meisharim hayim kruvim, tanu daret, Ramim Adonai Mishtachavu le'ar kodsho ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Page 20. Mizmor leDavid Avul Adonai Melim Avul Adonai Kavod Baal Avul Adonai Gevod Shemo Yishlach Avul Adonai V'Adar Kodesh Kol Adonai Hirim Adonai Ha'amayim Rabim Kol Adonai Ba'koach Kol Adonai Mehanar Kol Adonai Shober Harazim Ma'eshaber Adonai Edor Ze'el Banon Vayar Kideh Kemo Egel Levanon Vesirion Kemo Gemo Venereimim Kol Adonai Chotzev Lavodesh Kol Adonai Yachil Midbar Yachil Adonai Midbar Kadesh Kol Adonai Olel Ayalon Abar Yecheso Vayeharon Uvechalo Kulo Omer Kavor Adonai Adam Abu Yashava Yeshev Adonai Melech Leolam Adonai Le'amo Yiden Adonai Yevarech et Amo Bashalom Hai 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 Gedulad Yemincha Yemincha Tatir Zerura Kaber Natamcha Sagavenu Darenu Nora Anna Bekoa Gedulad Yemincha Hayratir Zerura Tatir Zerura Verina Tamecha Sagvenu Darenu Norai Lecha Dodi Ligrad Gala V'nei Shabbat Negabela Lecha Dodi Ligrad Gala V'nei Shabbat Negabela Shamor V'zachor V'dibur Echad Hishmiyanu El HaMiuchad Adonai Echad Ushmo Echad L'Shemo Tiferet L'Tila Lecha Dodi Ligrad Gala B'nei Shabbat Negabela Lecha Dodi Ligrad Gala B'nei Shabbat Negabela Ligrad Shabbat Lechu V'nilcha כי מקור הברכה, מראש מכם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי, לקראת גלה בני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת גלה בני שבת נקבלה. מגנש מלך עיר מלוכה, גומיצים מתוך ההפכה, רב לך שבל בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה, לך דודי לקראת גלה, פני שבת נקבלה, התנערי מעפר גומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמים, על יד בן ישי בית הלחמי, קרבה אל נפשי אלי, לך דודי לקראת גלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת גלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת גלה, פני שבת נקבלה, התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך ומאורי, אורי, אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלי נגלה, לך דודי לקראת גלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת גלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לא תבושי ולא תקרבי, מה תשכחי ומה דמי, בך יחסו הנעיינים, ונבנתה עיר על הילה, לך דודי לקראת גלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת גלה, פני שבת נקבלה, והיום שיסר שוב צעיר ורחקו גומם עלייך, יסיס עלייך אלוהייך, ימסוס חתן על כלה, לך דודי לקראת גלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת גלה, פני שבת נקבלה, ימין ושמאל תפרוצי, ויד אדוני דריצי, Lecha dodi likrat gala penei shaban gabela lecha dodi likrat gala penei shaban gabela boi v'shalom ateret bala v'gam b'simcha u'b'tzala zochemun le'am segula boi chala lecha dodi likrat gala b'nei shaban gabela lecha dodi likrat gala b'nei shaban gabela 23 Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbat The righteous shall flourish like a palm tree. They shall grow tall like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they will thrive in the courts of our God. They shall bear fruit even in old age. They shall be ever fresh and fragrant. To proclaim Adonai is just, my rock, in whom there is no flaw. Adonai Malach, Geud Lavesh, Lavesh Mayos, Hey, do techenu me'od leveid chana b'kodesh Adonai le'orech yamim. This week we observe the Yahrzeit of Helen Goldberg, mother of Shelley Goldberg Peck, Frank Bennett, grandfather of Leah Leonard, George Coleman, grandfather of Doug Spitzer, Nathan Schaefer, father of Florence Grossman, and Elsie Goldener, mother-in-law of Mary Goldener. Also, Regina Gentman, who is memorialized on our board. May their memories and the memories of all those whom we recall be blessings. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 24. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabah be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayei u'v'yomei u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael Bagalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'olam olam me'almaya. Yitbarach v'ishtabach v'yitpar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tishbechata v'nechemata damiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, bimru, amen. Good Shabbos, everyone. It's so nice to see all of you. This week is the beginning of Parshat Shmot, and we are told, after learning about Pharaoh's decree that all the sons will be thrown in the river, all the Jewish sons will be thrown in the river, that a man named Amram takes a wife, and they have a child, and it's Moshe. And the problem with that presentation of the story is that it makes it sound like he's marrying this woman, and this is their first son. He marries her, and it's her first son. But then, a few verses later, we learn that actually Moshe has a sister, a very precocious sister, and eventually we learn he has a brother as well. So there's a problem in the text, and it's something that Bible scholars will tell you reflects the sort of the composite nature of the text. The text came together over many generations, and there were different versions of it, and so it got stitched together, but imperfectly. And so you see, it's an editing job, but it's not a perfectly smooth one. And there you see these holes and you see these flaws. Many of those holes and flaws provide the occasion, of course, for the ancient rabbis to do midrash. So about the first piece of it, they say, well, actually, they were remarried because they were married before, because they had Aharon and Miriam, and so they were remarried. And what the Midrash says is that Miriam went to her father Amram, and Amram, according to the Midrash, was a very illustrious, influential member of the community. And when Pharaoh made his decree, Amram divorced Yocheved because he didn't want to bring sons into the world and have them die. So it's better to separate from my wife. And because Amram was such an influential leader, all of the other husbands in Israel followed suit until Miriam approaches her father and says, famously in the Midrash, your decree is worse than Pharaoh's decree because Pharaoh decreed against the sons. But you've also decreed against the daughters because it's 50-50, right? So if there's no babies, it's even worse. So Amram is convinced by this in the Midrash to remarry Yocheved, and that remarriage happily results in Moshe. But that Midrash has a problem, and they raise a challenge against that Midrash, which is, it says, but he doesn't say he remarried her. It says he married her, right, implying for the first time. And so the Midrash has to answer that problem that it's created for itself. And the answer to that problem is that he acted as if it was a first wedding, and they renewed their vows, and it describes how Miriam and Aharon, danced before their parents, and so the Midrash paints this very beautiful picture of the children getting to kind of participate in the love of their parents in a way that they didn't before, and that's the answer to that little riddle, and that answers the problem in the text. I think these are sort of charming midrashim in their own right, but the reason why I share them, I want to sort of make a meta point actually about sort of the process of midrash, which is what sort of moved me when I was thinking about them a few hours ago as I was thinking about what I was going to say, which is that midrash takes a flaw in the text very often and sort of pours something beautiful into it. And I am probably not the first rabbi you've ever heard, or the first sort of like inspirational speaker you've ever heard to raise for you or to remind you about these Japanese pots that you've seen in the Met, where they're from like the 14th century and they crack, and then rather than discard them, the Japanese artisans painstakingly put gold into the cracks, and so they become, and now they're objects of great value, and over many hundreds and sometimes even thousands of years, you look at the inscriptions on these pots, and it's astounding that something like this could be around for so long. They have been painstakingly restored, not so that you can't see the crack, of course, and this is why people love to make homiletic hay about this, but actually you see the crack, but the crack is filled with gold. And this thing that was once made the vessel imperfect and perhaps worthless actually becomes a source of profound beauty and value, which is such an inspiring thing, and I think this is what Midrash does as well. I mean, it takes problem texts, and it just pours gold into them, which is such a beautiful kind of, I think, inspirational way to think about our lives. The idea of you take these broken aspects of oneself or one's relationships, and you just, rather than discard them, you pour gold into them so that the scar becomes something beautiful and precious to be put in a museum and cherished. It's just a beautiful idea. It's also very, very hard. I mean, the artistry, and if you ever watched like Japanese metalworking on YouTube, like if you watch the Japanese have cornered them. I mean, the artistry is astounding, and the artistry that it takes to kind of take a broken pot and painstakingly piece it together and fill it with gold is actually really hard. It's not like overnight you can do something like this. And the process of midrash is also really hard. It's thousands of years and countless generations of thinking about these stories and trying to make them whole again, even though they're broken. And it's not easy, of course, to fix and pour gold into all of the areas of life that we want to improve. But I think the process of midrash, even as much as the beauty of the midrash themselves, the process of midrash, I think is just a beautiful guide for life and reminds us about the possibility of how we can approach flaws in our lives and in the world, and how they need not necessarily be fundamental disabilities or things that make us discard aspects of ourselves or our lives, but that they can be ultimately sources of healing and even great beauty. We'll continue with Baruch Hu, which is on page 28. Please rise. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Borach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Adonai Umavir Yom Umevi Laila Umavir Ben Yom Uven Laila Adonai Tzevot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Timuchaleinu Leolam Vaed. Baruch et Adonai Hamari Baravim Avat Olam B'Yisrael. ואהבתך אל תסירנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובחומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך וים שמות ושמונה שמות. Adonai Elohim Emet. 32. Malchuto beratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe uMiriam u'bnei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha raba v'ameru chulam mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha nedar ba'godesh nuratehi Sefele Balchutecha Ra'ubanecha Bokei Hayam Lifnei Moshe Ze Elianu V'ameru Adonai Yimloch Le'olam V'ahed Hey Hey, keep it on Yaakov, we're gonna make Chadak Menu, Baruch Adonai, Gal Yisrael, Ashkivenu, Elmelenu, Shalom, Ushmor Seitenu, Voenu Lechaim, Ul Shalom Yatavi Adolam, Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shalom Echa, Baruch Adonai, Hapore, Sukat Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Amo Yisrael, Ve'al Yerushalayim, Ve'shameru B'nei Yisrael, Et HaShabbat. Shabbat ledorotam berid olam hay amenim uven bnei Yisrael oti leolam ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim v'et Shabbat vayina fashinga vikadash merabah v'amadim rakim v'devel michmalchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael bagala u'vizman karev imru amen yesh merabah mevorach le'olam u'l'alam me'alamaya Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yiparach v'raminaseh v'yitadar v'yidaleh v'yidalal shmei t'kudsha v'reichu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damir v'melma v'imru amen. 35. Page 47. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzivam vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi'i mikol melachto asher asa vayvarech Elohim et yom hashvi'i vayikadesh oto Ki bo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim laso. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah El HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon Konei Shamayim v'Haaretz Magen Avod b'dvaro Mechayei Meitim b'mamaro El HaGadol she'en kamo Hameniach v'kdashom b'yom Shabbat kodsho Ki v'amratza laniach lahem Lefanav navod v'yirav v'fachad ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד מעון הברכות. אל ההודעות אדון השלום, מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי, ומניח בקדושה לעמדו שני עונג זכר למעשה בראשית. אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, רצה במנוחתנו, קדשנו במצוותיך, ותן חלקנו בתורתך, צווינו מטובך, ושמחנו בישועתך, וטהר ליבנו לעובדך באמת, והנחילנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה ורצון שבת קודשך, מנוחו בה ישראל כמקדשי שמך, ברוך אדוני מקדש השבת. 48 or 92. יתקדש ויקדש שמי רבה, ועמד יברא קירותי ולמליך מלכותי, וחייכנו במלכון חייך בישראל, בגלה בזמן קריב אמרו, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם עולם מעלמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם וינשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי תקודשה, בריחו לילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמיון בעלמה ואמרו, אמן. תקבל צורתון לכל ישראל, כל המשמעיה ואמרו, אמן. יש שלום משמעיה וחיים לנו לכל ישראל ואמרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו, amen. Would someone like to make Kiddush? Please, go ahead, Shane. Grab the cup. Amen.
וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית.
כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, הבנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו.
ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
אמן. שכוח עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא ששמיים ויוסד הארץ. ככתוב בנביאותינו, על כן נקבל לך כי המלכות שלך יורמת תמלך בכבוד, ככתוב בתורתך נעים לך לעולם ועד, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Mourner's Kaddish is on page 52 or 101. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabah.
Amen.
Be'alma divra kirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael v'agala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei rabah orach le'olam le'aya. Yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitromam v'ynaseh v'yitadar v'yitalei v'yitalal shmei t'kudsha v'yichu leila mikol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabbamin shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom v'imrama hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Adam, would you like to make the announcement? But Today's Kiddush is sponsored by Adam and Jen in celebration of Jen's birthday. So thank you.
I was looking forward to
Oh,
saying
no,
that. It's the only reason I came up. All right. Kiddush is sponsored by me in celebration of my wife's birthday. But if you're interested in sponsoring Kiddush, you could call. Family food drive, Sunday, January 11th. Still time to bring food.
Yeah, if anyone wants to come and bring canned goods on Sunday morning, help us pack, that'd be great.
Yeah. PJC Women's Group will meet on Saturday the 24th at 8 p.m. after Kiddush in the Sanctuary.
8 p.m.
Or 8 why does it say 8 p.m.? Or after Kiddush, okay. Yeah, it didn't make sense, 8 p.m. PJC Book Club meeting, Monday, January 26th. It'll be on Zoom. Blood Drive is on February 1st, 9 to 1:30. Flyers are available in the hallway. Shabbat Mishpacha is going to be on February 7th. Please, please, please RSVP, and if you RSVP, join us. And People Jew want to know, Jews, is that right? People Jew want to know? Okay. Stand Up New York, live podcast taping, comedy featuring Rabbi Resnick and other rabbis. So flyers are. That's Thursday, February 5th at 7:30.
I am not doing stand-up, but it is a live taping of a pretty popular Jewish podcast, and with 3 rabbis in conversation about and sort of debating major Jewish questions, and there's going to be a comedy act, and it's a stand-up in NY, which is near Times Square.
So Shabbat Shalom.
It's like a real comedy. It's like a comedy club that
Has real
yeah, like really famous. I mean, yeah. The opening act is she's been on Conan, so that should be good. If you want to get tickets to that, there's a flyer in back if anyone's interested. It is going to be a cool event, I think. Okay. Yigdal is on page 53 or 114. Yigdal Elohim Chai V'yishtabach Nimtza V'ein Eidel Ziyuto Echad V'ein Yachid Yechudo Nelam V'gam Insof Le'achduto Ein Lo Demot HaGuf Ein No Guf Lo Na'aroch Elav Kedushato Kadmon Lechol Davar Asher Nivra Rishon V'ein Reshit LeReshito Hino Adon Olam V'echol Notzar Yoreh Gedulato Malchuto Shefa Nevuato Netano El Anshe Segulato V'etifarto Lo Kam Be'Yisrael K'mosheo Navi U'Mabid Et Munato Torah Temenatan Lemoel Al Yanevi Onem Beito Lo Ya Khalifael V'lo Yamir Dato Le'olamim Le'zulato Sofe V'yodea Setareinu Mabid L'sof Davar Be'echad Mato Gomer Le'ish Chesed G'mit Valom Noten Le'rasha Rak Rishato Yishlach L'ketz Yamim Meshichenu Lipton Mechake Ketz Yeshuato Meitim Yechayel Derov Chasto Baruch Adei Hashem Dilato Meitim Yechayel Berov Chasto Baruch Adei Hashem Dilato. Shabbat Shalom.
So you're not surprised? So they both play over. Is it Miami or not? Okay, I don't follow that. Realize or realize. Right, that I can see. I watched the game last night. It was pretty good. Yeah, I don't watch a lot, but I watch the fourth quarter. It was like, how would you feel like you're a Big Ten team? So do you want to see the other Big Ten team win, or do you feel like, they beat us, we'll win? Like, so they're different. If Indiana's not going to be right, so basketball. Yeah. That makes your kid look better. Of course, I'm more of a basketball guy. We still got my Syracuse basketball team. I think the coach is terrible. I'm sure there's some good players, but they still don't run any offense. There's something like 10-5. They played 3 games early against ranked teams in this tournament. And in the first game against like number 3 in the country, Houston, they got up to overtime and lost. And they lost to teams that should lose to. It's very easy. What's also this is great. You get all these new guys, and all these guys are partners are learning to play with each other. Which actually makes the coaching all the better. Thank you for sponsoring this weekend. Sorry. What was he saying?
We're having problems getting people to come on Friday.
Well, I've had this issue for years, because I've been with certain people.
What was also saying?
You may have heard me say this. You may have heard me say this, and I don't mean to make a big deal, but if even every member of the board just came one Friday, it would make a difference. I go way back on this. Just one a month. I'm just saying it to you. I'm just saying it to you. Look, I know there are some people that are work in the city and that it's hard. That's not a
Deep layered conversation.
Well, I was, and I would do it over again differently. For one, both of my parents, North sides through the summer. And when I came to my mother, I should have organized or whatever. There were 6 people here. I mean, I came the next morning, so I said, but I felt bad about it. Anyway.
He checked his way.
So are you gonna?
I texted Ben when we had coffee and just kind of.
So are you gonna be this? I don't need well,
The answer is yes.
What do you all just
Meaning he's executive vice president.
I know, that's why I'm wondering, and I'm not.
The most stark according to Jay, Isaac is safe. According to E, Isaac is problem, which suggests that
I'll be
there's
home around 5.
well, when it's
doesn't tell you whether it's safe
Yeah,
well,
Mom,
so in the text that we have, he's safe, because the story goes on. But what I suppose you make a case for the meaning.
Because there's the Dead Sea Scrolls or somewhere else, there's a.
No, it's all theory. It's all theory.
Or also another
I mean, if you want to make the case that, like, if you want to try to make the case that this war is spiritually illuminating, I suppose you make the case, for once, it's true. So its truth is maybe limiting.
yeah, but that was me.
Now it's sensible.
No, but you would make the case, right? But you would make the case that, so it eliminates the fact that whoever was choosing
Now I get to go.
chose to save
My
us,
house is a
which,
trash pit.
that's probably right. I mean,
Well, let's
so
say
things like that,
But
so right, and so things like that can emerge.
He's
But I
very
agree.
dexterous.
I think
Most
I'm feeling this, I don't care about the religion.
She played the cello.
It's just like an intellectual
good.
Countdown.
I was
He was student,
Yeah.
Yeah.
House of like a really pretty here.
So
And,
nice.
he talked about how, I'm the one who has said her about
These little houses that are like,
he said he wasn't in my.
oh, those.
I thought it was kind of stupid, whatever.
So Steve told
And then, the more we thought about it, well, it's just, it's, the impulse is just another way of going about it, you know, it's getting closer to text. And if you wanna really get really as close as you can to this text, so you can make the argument, I think Ben Summers, a Bible scholar, was
Can you put me back together?
it's devotional, because it's, you're getting as close to the more you swim,
Exactly. Hey, I went around, so he kind of figured out what, like, his personality path. And he's like, well, these are
And do you still get benefits?
yeah, that was the.
Come out of 1 year old, size of 1 year old.
No, that's helpful.
It's funny because I remember when Nancy
Putting
was
the issue
born.
on the shoes,
your heart has to be very open
That was born in.
to consider that one, yeah, no, oh, I agree with you, sure.
Because you'll be around.
Yeah, the other day I was like,
don't believe that. I don't believe in it in the sense that I
yeah,
have
we
to
know we have
get
like
me
houses
or
where you go.
most people, so that's one potential flaw. But
If I get him in with
No,
the ultimate,
he
was
doesn't.
never
Oh,
played
he
that.
does it, but he said he played truck.
Well, tell him to drop that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, Marshall and myself forget.
I saw you on that day.
12 shots.
He was a very interesting.
Joe was
complicated,
bringing
not
food
easy
to,
person. He was a very interesting person.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
I
shalom.
had a cold, so I was out the last couple of weeks. So
It's good to see you.
Didn't want to be infecting anybody.
Good to see you. I was sick as well.
No, we don't, we didn't.
So you were writing something, a book about Jews in baseball?
Well, I wrote my next novel.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me call him and check.
Now exists, but whether
If you're writing a novel about baseball, you know I mean.
It is written, hopefully,
You're all right.
hopefully it will be published.
But I hope I'm not interrupting. Do you know the story about Jackie Robinson and Hank Green?
Yes, I do.
And how they collided at first base when, all right,
It's
okay.
a famous baseball legend.
I don't know, so Jackie, must have been the tail end of Hank Greenberg's career.
So Hank Greenberg, his final season,
Right. Was the
for
first year.
Detroit traded him, or got rid of him.
Right.
And part of the story was maybe they didn't want to have to make him the manager, you know, so anyway, he goes over to the National League in 1947, and he plays first base for, I think it was the Pirates. And he's at first holding Jackie Robinson up.
Right.
And there's like a throw or a pickoff, and they get tangled, and of course, Greenberg's a big guy, and Jackie of course, Jackie was putting up with that stuff
All
all.
season long, yeah.
But what Hank did is he said, "Oh, Jackie, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean that," and which nobody, any other team ever
Because they
did.
did mean it, right.
And he got up, and then he said, "How you doing?" And Jackie said, "Well, you know, it's not easy." He said, "Just hang in there." And of course, he knew because of all Hank Greenberg went to. And Jackie later recited the one guy on another team that really supported me, that ever said anything positive. I'm telling you, you know, I actually got a book on
I
this,
get that sentiment.
but it's a wonderful story.
Yes.
It's just, the Jew comes,
Yes.
because he, you know, have you ever seen the Hank Greenberg documentary?
Yeah, it's great.
If you've never seen the full-length movie documentary, which was made some years ago about Hank Greenberg,
Right.
and includes him being interviewed, and actually one of my clients helped fund some of it. It's amazing. I mean, what he went through.
Is it on one of the streaming channels now, or?
I don't know how you get it. They rerun it, I don't know that stream.
Probably.
It's called The Life and Times of Hank Greenberg. It's full length.
It's
It's
wonderful.
by one of the great documentarians.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's really
Anyway,
wonderful.
I don't mean to
No,
interrupt.
no, we're just,
I hope you feel better.
I do feel better. I was sick, but I'm no longer.
If you have 10 more seconds, I had talked to you
All right,
about
good shout out to you guys.
I'm planning to again
I'm
do
working this week.
the
I'm off to
Haftorah that I
Europe.
did last year, which is the, God, Gadol, I'm not pronouncing
Oh,
it.
yeah, Shabbat
The Shabbat before.
Yeah,
So you told me that when come around in the new year, I should
wonderful.
So I'm gonna send you an
You got
email. Is it too early to send the email?
No.
Remind you,
You got
confirm the date? Okay,
Yeah, you got it.
okay, good. I've been practicing it every week,
Good, you got it.
so that I